You all what is going on. Listen, this is not, trust me when I tell you, this is not going to be long. Um, I'm coming in here about the Braxtons. The Braxtons. This is season 2, episode 1. Now, we know they did a whole rebranding because it was Braxton, what was it? The Braxtons Family Values and all of that. And then they rebranded last year. Tamar wasn't part of the show full on. She was basically a friend to the show, which I thought was very weird. How is there like one of the main, well, they're all the main sisters. One of the sisters is part of that, like the hell. Tracy, poor Tracy, who passed away, was like the main character, to the point that it got too heavy. It really got too heavy last season, and then the whole season basically went on stuff that had to do with Tracy's son, and it got too heavy. It got too heavy. It was kind of, after a while, it was hard to watch. So now here we go. We're in season 2, and I don't even know if we should really say I'm doing a review at this point, because I really don't know what my stance is on this. I don't know if I'm going to actually do this episode by episode and go through what I went through, because I was just done with it like part of the way through last season. But this season, it's heavy before we even get started. We are now, this time, Tamar is back full time, so she's a full on part of the show. And now we got a niece, Ashley, who belongs to one of the Braxton boys. And the whole storyline is that there was inappropriate behaviors from what we found out to be Gabe, which is Trina's ex-husband, who has since passed away. So basically, the whole first episode, really a bunch of nothing. It really was a bunch of nothing. We seen Tamar go to get a BBL, and whatever. She got her titties done. Now she's getting a BBL. Nothing, regular Tamar. Her clowning with her good Judy's in and out of the doctor's office. Nothing. Like, really nothing. Like, that's nothing that would keep anybody really watching other than the Tamartians. Then we see this blow up between Tony and Tamar. This is where the beginning of the mess was. That's so they lay it right out. So we know the main storyline here is going to be Ashley, Tamar, Tony, is what we thought. But really, now we got Trina. It's a big, nasty, odd, hey, y'all, I see y'all saying, hey, we are live. Hey, what's going on? There's a good thing about it, though. See, there's a good piece to it, though, where black families as a whole, we got a bad habit of hiding stuff, and what happens in this house stays in this house. And that what happens in this house stays in this house is the perfect recipe for a lot of the curses that plague the black family. Generational curses. A lot of bad behaviors have been covered up to where it keeps happening. And it's definitely this kind of stuff, because this is all this violation of underage people. And the black family, it is what it is, and I'm able to speak on it because I'm part of a black family. Now, I've not been violated, okay? So I'm not being violated, so I can't speak from that area. I'm not going to say that I was never approached, okay? I'm not going to say that I wasn't ever approached or that anybody didn't get People were they were out of pocket, but I was never violated. Thank God, I was never violated. My grandmother was a nut, so no, I never got violated. So here's the thing: I know what goes down. I've seen what goes down. It ain't cool. It ain't never been cool. People get so touchy because don't nobody want to discuss it. And not discussing it and hiding it is how it ends up continuing on. And it goes on and it becomes a generational curse. Here we go. And it's really crazy because Gabe ain't black. Okay? Let's just start there. Gabe is not black. Gabe is Hispanic. Trina's black, but I don't know if she really knows it. I'm going to say that again for the ones in the back. And it's not that I don't like Trina, but Trina is black, but I'm not sure if she knows it. She talks like this and all of that bullshit that she be doing. Trina's a clown. Trina's always been a clown. And as far as I'm concerned, I liked her, but she was a clown nonetheless. Okay? So when the niece comes back and says that something was going on, she was blown off. She was blown off and pretty much written off is what I'm understanding. Hey, Memsy, thanks for being here. Come on all the way here from London. Thank you for being here. But it's crazy. Now, so because when you really look at it, you have this Hispanic man who has come into this black family and moving in such a way, and it really had to do with texts and things. So I don't think he actually violated her. It was sexual texts and things. There were text messages that were out of order. They were of a sexual nature, out of order. But you got a black family who's allowing a non-black member who's been brought to the family to violate one of our children, and then we're siding with the person that came into the See, I don't like this. I don't like this. And then we're sitting around and I'm looking at this whole scene they had with Trina and Tawanda, and Tawanda keep going back and forth like it really ain't no big deal. Like it really wasn't no big deal, and she's talking to Trina and they're sitting there. It's like they're trying to make it seem as though Ashley not the victim, that Trina somehow is the victim. And well, he's not here to defend himself. Well, lucky fucking him. Okay? Because that's how that goes. You violate, and then you're not present to defend yourself. Lucky you, because defending yourself is when it get real ugly. So it's just ugly. And it's this whole thing of nobody wanting her to talk. They sent out a cease and desist. That's how Tony and Tamar got into it, because Tony's like, you sent a cease and desist out because I was going to bring her onto my podcast and talk about the situation. And you basically shut it down. And the sisters, Trina, like, I didn't have nothing to do with it. And the sisters is all backing up. And then Tony, I love you, girl, but you do a whole lot. And I sat and looked at Tony. You look guilty, sis. You look guilty. You look to me, when I was watching that scene, Tony looks to me like she's the one that spearheaded the cease and desist. And then when Tamar came on, because Tamar is an attention whore. So when Tamar came on and brought it all up, they want to shut Tamar down. She was deflecting and talking about, because Tamar was saying, nobody supported me. That goes all the way back. See, there's a whole little situation where Tamar was violated as a young woman, is what I understand, allegedly. She was violated as a young woman, and it was hushed and shoveled to the side and all of that, and nobody gave her say. So, yeah, quite naturally, this is why she's going with her daughter, going with not her daughter, going with her niece and saying, let me help you to heal yourself. Let me help you get your story out. No, I'm not going to let anybody. I'm not going to let anybody just shut you down. I'm going to make sure you're able to talk. Whereas I wasn't able to talk. So that's one part of it. But then there's the other part of it where we know that Tamar Braxton is a messy bitch. And Tamar, yes, part of it is really good. I'm here for your stance with helping your niece to get it out of her system and say what she needs to say and to be heard and get her healing on the way. But Tamar, you know damn well there's a part of this that you are doing to get your lick back. And I felt it. I felt it just as sure as I was sitting there. You are getting it to get your lick back against everybody who you feel like wronged you, especially the sisters, because you just be mad with the sisters anyway. You mad with Tony all the time because you're jealous of Tony and whatever else. You know what I mean? So there's a part of it, Tamar, you're doing for the right reasons, and there's a part of it that you're doing it for the Tamar reason. So that was very off-putting. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, oh, my God, this show is making my head spin. I literally had to sit down 2 different times to get through it. 2 different times. 2 different times I had to sit down with this to get through a 1-hour show. And I was like, this is what I say is too heavy. But the whole thing of basically there's like some victim shaming. There's some using of the victim for personal gain. All of those things, none of them things just don't sit right with me. And I'm like, that is so ugly. So ugly. I'm not going anywhere, Lieutenant Blanco. Not right now. Why? You want to go somewhere? Where you want to go? It was a lot. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this for a whole season. That's why I'm like, I couldn't actually formulate actual. You know how I do my reviews generally. I didn't even do it. You see, I didn't even use the intro or anything because I don't know how I feel about this, y'all. I don't. And I come and I give you what I have. This is what I have. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to go from here with this. Because I don't know if I can do this week to week. I really don't. I don't know if I can do this week to week. Somewhere I'm ready to go. See, boy, you playing with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'll fly out of here and come and snatch you up. Don't play with me. Anyway. It just, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like it though. I didn't like it. I didn't like how when the scene was with Trina and Tawanda, they were downplaying it like what they was talking about, what no real big deal. And then Trina want to cry and all of that. What are you crying for? Why are you crying? First of all, he's your ex-husband who so-called violated your niece. And then you turned around and brushed your niece off, and then you cut your niece off, and then you're literally still sitting here talking crazy, talking about, well, my door was already open, and this, that, and the other, and she just didn't choose. Well, when she came through your door before, your husband violated her, right? Right? Isn't that how it all went down? You left your door open, but what good is your door being open if you're giving her very much of her? Don't say nothing about my husband, my man. What good is your door open if you're not open to what it is she has to say and you already have your mind made up? Tell me what good is it for her to walk through your door, Trina? Didn't you and Gabe break up 955,000 times because Gabe was out of pocket? And Gabe used to violate and cheat, and everything about Gabe, it was always something really hypersexual. Isn't that what happened? Isn't that what happened? And I think we're supposed to be real nice and don't say nothing about Gabe because Gabe died. Well, whose problem is that other than Gabe's? When you die, it does not erase things that you did. Here we go. People will be mad at me now. I don't give a damn. When you die, you just dead. That's it. It really does not erase your track record of fuck shit that you did when you were still walking around here. And the people who you did wrong things to when you were walking around here don't have to eat them because you can't walk around here no more. And then they got to curb what they have to say. Why? Why? Who made those rules up? And I know the Bible preaches forgiveness. Yeah, it also preaches understanding. It preaches understanding. Why don't you understand that I'm hurt? Why don't you understand that I'm having issues? Why don't you understand that this situation ruined my life? Why don't you understand that I'm a young woman and a piece of my young womanhood has been crushed and stomped upon because of things that you did? Now I have to go and I got to fall straight into forgiveness. Why? Because you perished? See, that's that bullshit that I don't like. That's that bullshit I don't like. And telling people how long they have to get over what it is. Since when? Since when? You don't tell me when to get done. You don't tell me when to get tired. You don't tell me nothing about my pain and working through my pain. Me working through my pain, oh, it's getting on your nerves? How is that? How does that sound like you're too invested to me? If my pain is getting on your nerves, that sounds like you're too invested. So, see, you see where we are? I don't know if I could do this week to week, y'all. Because I'm going to be tearing their ass up, and I can just see it. Because I don't like how they moving at all. None of them. Nobody. And Miss Evelyn, what in the hell are you doing? You walking around grinning and smiling and pushing your wig to the side and your damn family is in shambles. Now, come on here, Evie. What's going on? You grinning and skinning and laughing and kee-heeing about a damn wedding and about your failed wedding and marriage. And you got all this other stuff going on. And she ain't even saying that. I said, Evelyn, Evie, girl, quit playing. Quit your playing, girl. See, Evie shuts up a lot of times. Evie like to go run off at the mouth about shit that don't matter. But if it's going to affect her bottom line, you ever notice how quiet Evelyn get? Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here because I'm getting mad. Let me get out of here. I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to try, y'all. I'm going to watch. I'm going to try to see what I can see. But if this right here is what's happening all season, I promise you, I'm not about to sit and play with this for no whole season. I'm not. I got sick of the Tracy thing. I was starting to feel bad. And I don't, for me personally, I don't go to funerals. I don't. Y'all, anybody who's been following me any amount of time, you know that my grandmother is my favorite person that ever walked this earth besides Jesus. Do you understand? That's how I love my grandmother. Baby, I ain't go to my grandmother's funeral. I do not do funeral festivities. I don't go to wakes. I don't go to funerals. I don't have time for that. I'm not into it. I just ain't got it to do. And I got a treat for you. I ain't even going to mine. And that's a promise. It's in paperwork. I ain't going to mine. When I'm dead, I'm done. Throw the dirt in my face. Y'all better not burn my ass up. I ain't playing them games. But throw the dirt in my face and keep it moving. If my mother or whoever is around that's taking care of things, hopefully my mother will still be here. I hope she outlived me, honey. I do. She was here first. Why don't she get to stay? But anyway, and try, I'm worth more to her dead than I am alive. That's a whole other story. But if my mother wastes $1 throwing a party for me that I ain't at, I'll haunt her. I will haunt her. I'll sit on the edge of her bed and tell her off every day. And my mother ain't down with that bullshit. But I've been very clear. I don't like all that. I don't nobody standing over me telling all them damn lies about how much they like. You know, I'll sit up and throw something at you, honey. Anyway, all right, y'all got me going somewhere else. But yeah, that's how I felt. I felt, that I was going to a funeral every week when I was watching the Braxtons last season. I ain't like that. I'm not going, and I'm definitely not going to a shut ear case of violation of a young person every week. I'm not getting ready to do that. I'm really not. I'm really, really not. And I don't like how Tamar is kind of sitting in it. Like, again, like I said, I think some of her intention is good, but a lot of it is very got you, bitch, my turn. This ain't the time for that, Tamar. Do your get back, girl. Read, drag. You read like an old drag queen anyway. Read and drag, girl. But this is not the get you gotcha. Nah, baby, this ain't no. This ain't that. This ain't that at all. And I'm gonna say this last thing that I did notice. Maybe some of this is what's wrong with Trina. Then y'all know we noticed like Trina was doing a whole bunch of drinking and this, that thing, and the other. Demons. You dealing with a lot of demons, and I don't believe that it's all Tracy's passing away. I really don't. I think there's more going on. You got quite a few things that's very heavy on you, and that drink is not helping. And I looked at you last season, and I'm looking at you now. All this weight and whatnot. Trina, that don't look good. Trina's a cute little lady. She's a cute little lady. She looks bloated and tight and uncomfortable. And that screams to me alcoholism. And she looks bloated, tight, and uncomfortable. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. This, that, with a wig on. I said, girl, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's really, it's not like a weight gain, like, oh, you was just really enjoying your food and you gained some weight. It's not that. It looks like a sickness weight. You can have a sickness of gained weight and you could have a sickness of weight lost. And that's where it looks like it doesn't look healthy. And it looks like she's struggling with more than what we said. Now, y'all gonna call the woman the puffer fish. See, y'all, I'm leaving because y'all about to start clowning. I'm leaving. But okay, so that's it. That's all I got to say about this right now. My apologies that this is not the review that some of you were looking for. This is not the style of review that I usually use for you all. Y'all know I love y'all dearly, and it is what it is. But today is just, I didn't have that to give this. I had to just give you my true feelings toward this. So y'all just got to accept that for today, but I apologize. I'll let y'all know what I decide to do. I'm gonna definitely give episode 2 a chance. I'm not just gonna jump on it and beat it up. I'm gonna give it a chance. But if it's anything like this, I think I might cash in my ticket and go find Lieutenant Blanco and go wherever it is he want to go. All right, y'all. Listen, I'm out of here. I love y'all for real. I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.